This is the Franklin Township Public Library Board of Trustees meeting. It's May 28th, 2025. And I will call this meeting to order. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I will now lead the roll call. Deborah Kelly.
Present.
Welcome to your first meeting.
Thank you.
Amy Arsamala. Tiana Gresham. No. Nicholas Champa, I'm here. Mayor Kramer. Here. Aisha Ali. No. Agnes Kulabanya. No. And Kevin McNeil.
I'm here.
Okay.
Right.
January Adams, our director, is also here.
Yes.
This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, also known as the Sunshine Law. The schedule and notification of this meeting have been provided to the Courier News, the Home News Tribune, and the Franklin Township Clerk. Copies have been posted in the library's vestibule and are available at the reference desk. We will have two public comment portions. The first one will open now. Is there any member of the public who would like to say anything? Still no, huh? Okay. Moving on. I think we've all received a copy of the minutes. Deborah, did you?
Yes, I
Okay.
did in my packet.
Is there a motion to accept the minutes from the April 23rd meeting?
I'll motion to accept the minutes.
Okay. Amy and Kevin made and seconded. Is there any discussion of the motion? Seeing no discussion, please indicate. Those in favor of passing this motion, please indicate by raising your hand. This motion is passed unanimously. Thank you. So we shall go to January's director's reports. First, the financial report. January, would you like to say anything about it?
I will say that we're right on schedule,
Okay.
and there's nothing really, to me, nothing unusual here.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Would anyone else like to make any comments or ask any questions about the financial reports? Well, seeing no further questions, January, would you like to discuss your program report?
I'll just give you the highlights. We had the Adult Services Department scheduling 56 adult programs that 774 people attended. And the highlight was we had a new lecturer come in who talked about bird watching, and that apparently was a big success, so that was very nice. And the Youth Services held 41 in-house programs that 1,298 people enjoyed. And they also did an outreach event. They went over to Claremont School's Buddy Bash dance for special needs kids on April 25th. And they gave out bookmarks and stickers. And the young adult librarian hosted a group of special needs students from the center school for a library jobs tour on May 7th. And our annual summer reading buddies program has closed because we have enough applicants, and so we've got 19 teams who have volunteered. And those are the highlights.
Thank you. Can you, in very, just like a one sentence, tell what Polaris does?
Polaris is it's the heart of the library. It's how people look up books. It's how we catalog books. It's when you come in and you look for a book, you use the computer, that's hilarious,
Okay.
everything.
That's what I,
It was more than one sentence.
some great authors wrote in run-on sentences anyway, so. Okay, thank you. There is no president's report. There is some correspondence.
Yes.
Does anyone have any comment on the first three items of correspondence? The list, the judge.
Oh, Spanish? No.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I just would say it was interesting reading. I mean, especially this one with the American Library, what is it, the
IMLS.
IMLS. It's like I didn't even realize. It's ridiculous. 75 employees, 12 left.
The IMLS is, puts out a lot of grants, and what, the way it works is they'll give a grant to the state library here in New Jersey, and then the state library funnels grants out to the libraries in the state, so this directly affects us.
Yes. Yes.
I was interested in reading how many of the libraries take a real active part when there's an emergency.
Yes.
And I don't think this library has ever taken in people who had no place to sleep, or is that true?
Not that, but during Sandy, we had people coming in to get warned.
Yeah.
We had people coming in
Charging.
to charge.
Yeah, yeah.
It's important. It's an important place. It does. Is the library like in an event of a power outage? I know like certain places and buildings are given certain priority to things
For
that the
some reason,
library
we
is
still
not.
had power right after Sandy. I don't know why.
Oh, we don't have a generator.
No, we
here.
don't have a
Yeah,
generator.
right.
Thought about it, but.
Uh,
I think this area just didn't lose power.
Yeah, locked out.
Yeah.
I think you're probably on the same grid as the municipal building and the police station, so I would think you'd be first to be restored.
Do either of those buildings, police or municipal building, have a generator?
Oh, yeah, they both do.
Both do?
Yeah.
They each do, okay, good.
There's a lot of money on those generators. They're not something you get at Home Depot. They're-
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they gotta be.
They have to be able to almost run at full capacity, I would imagine.
Now, the article mentioned that there's a Stafford Act that is a federal program that gives out money in emergencies, and that libraries apparently are not eligible. The article seemed to indicate that there's efforts going on to make libraries eligible for funds through the Stafford Act, which funnels down with FEMA as their biggest distributor. So I don't know whether I don't believe we're in a period where the federal government is trying to increase funding for many things, but okay, it's good to know. Is there any other comments on any of the correspondence, correspondence items that we have?
So the person who wrote about the book, I forget what it's called, where you have that park, there's a name for it.
The Little Free Library?
Yeah, what does that entail to actually implement? Is that something that comes from libraries, or does that come from
Usually
somewhere else?
I think it's individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen
And
it in a lot of
there are
neighborhoods.
several parks in town that do have them. It's funny, my husband sponsored the one in Quailbrook, I can't remember the name of the park, Phil, on New Brunswick Road. near-
I know what
near
you're
the
talking
golf
about, and
course.
I've seen that.
With the crocodile,
Yeah,
it's the one that
yeah.
looks like
Yeah, of
Snoopy
course,
yeah.
laying on the,
I think so, I feel like I might have seen
on
that.
his house, but there's one in Colonial Park, there's one in Castleton Park, there's one in, it's not called Quarry Park anymore, Dunham Labette Park, I think. But several of our parks do have them, so
Yeah,
I don't know
I
what she's talking about.
So she goes to Delar Park,
Delar, okay, oh, Delar does not have one.
right?
Now, where's the little park? Which one is that?
Off of Beekman and Franklin Park,
That's where Society Hill is.
Okay, yeah.
right behind the CVS on 27.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So it's really individuals and then they, I guess, reach out to the company and they set up the,
Right, like you build it yourself and then you
Oh.
put it up and you get like a license, I'll call it, from Little Free Library, and then you're in charge of stocking it. And you either, the library could make, like I noticed we had all those free books and you could donate them. But, they like the ones in the parks to mainly have the children's books.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, I know Chris, my husband, he tries to do like one shelf of adult books and one shelf of children's books at the one by Whalebrook. And the kids love it. Someone put bubbles in there. That's just kind of fun.
And so they go to the park, they take a book and read it and put it back when.
Yeah, or
They
they
can
can
keep
keep
it.
Or they can keep
or
it
you
in
can
there.
keep it and you can put other books
then
in
put
it.
that
So
in
that's
there.
what we'll
Yeah,
kind of do.
so
We'll
it's
put
almost like
books
that.
in it or, yeah.
In exchange, that's a good idea. I've
So-
seen them all over.
Yeah.
I've
Some
seen
people
them
put them in
too.
front of their house and
Yeah.
they make
I've
them
seen
match
them,
their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bob LaCourte's been distributing some of these. Bob tells me Bill Connell is building one. So it would be relatively minimal effort for the library to fill that with books.
Well,
If books are giving away or selling.
well,
Get donations, like.
I would think it would be a minimal effort to supply the books, but to actually go around weekly, and that would be a little more than a minimal effort. If there was somebody,
But there's usually like a steward of them.
yeah,
Like my
yeah,
husband is a steward,
Yeah.
so
they
he'll
would be
drive
responsible,
by
yeah.
and just kind of make sure, because there was an issue, the door was falling off and it
Yeah,
was
sure.
leaking, so he fixed it,
Mhm.
things like that. So you need a steward of it, so that's what usually happens. So, Bill Connell, like Phil said, if he's willing to build it and put it up, Yeah.
I have heard that there's a company that sells the box for about $60 without a post, but that might be a start.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I think it's something each of us can individually think about, and
Yeah.
I'd be willing to build a box.
With the job you did with the shelves out there, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to build a nice.
Yeah, I have some paint left over, that covered. Okay.
So is this something the library wants to be involved in?
Well,
It's certainly supply
Yeah.
books, that's not a problem.
yeah, that's involvement, and,
Would we need to do much more than that?
well, as Deborah said, we
Yeah.
probably need
Somebody.
a person to be a steward of maybe one or two
Yeah.
that are close to the,
Or do we think, could we do a weekend, have a little project seminar here? Like, how we did the Build a Rain Barrel seminar, like the township did that, could we do build a little free library seminar? Would Bill Connell be happy to, my husband just had back surgery, or he'd do it, but,
well,
he's,
I think that's something we'd have to
yeah.
Right.
give
Think
some
about
Well,
thought
I
to.
would be
Yes.
willing to volunteer. I mean,
To be a steward.
Right, because
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something you have to. It's going to take 8 hours a day, 5
No.
days a week, right?
Yeah,
you drive past once or
You do a
twice a week.
drive-by, he goes by like once or twice a week, and, if it's empty, he tries to fill it. have like a Rubbermaid thing
Yeah.
of books in our house that he'll
Right.
he'll ask people at work, bring in old books,
Right.
if you have any kids' books
Right.
from your kids, and,
Well, I think as individuals, it's
yeah.
probably something that would be very interesting. Whether we want to officially have the library do it, besides
The
supplying
initial
books,
supplying books, yeah.
I think probably you have enough work for your employees.
Well, also doesn't seem like that's what libraries do. It seems like it's an individual.
It's
Yeah,
an
yeah,
individual,
yeah.
right.
So if that was practice that all public libraries do that, then it makes sense, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's individual, so I think supplying the books also is like probably a nice thing, and then.
Right, to supply the
volunteers
books if
are-
somebody has the, wants to do, just do it. I know if it's in Franklin, I know that would, something that I wouldn't, I mean, you know, if you had a couple of volunteers
Yeah.
to do that, I know I would definitely be interested or wouldn't mind being involved with something like that.
Question for right now, should we respond to Annalise Diaz for,
Well, it was
Well,
addressed.
oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Letters to me,
Yeah, I'm
and I
sorry.
went to the school and gave her a proclamation,
Oh, wonderful,
along with 3 other people who,
wonderful.
I mean, a commendation, along with 3 other kids who wrote me. So,
Well,
she's been responded to, and I told her that I would be bringing it up here.
okay. So,
And you said somebody's already building the,
Well, I'm told that Mr. Connell is currently constructing one. I don't think he knows about this.
oh, but he
Maybe
was
he
just
could
making.
provide that, go to that location if he doesn't have a location for it yet.
Yeah, I'll follow up, I'll find out if he really is. If it's $60, that might be something that the library might be interested in also providing, or the town.
yeah, one or the other.
We'll discuss that.
Sure.
But I think it's a good idea.
Yes.
We're always promoting reading.
Okay. And I'll stand as a volunteer to build or install one cubby.
That's cool.
Okay. So, I think we can move on from this then. Is there any old business? And is there any new business? I think we should probably start with our proposed budget and then go on to other new business after that, if there is any. So,
Budget.
we have a budget. And we have, I think, something like a 5.8% increase in the value of all the true value of all the properties in Franklin Township, which means that our funding goes up by that 5.8%.
5.8. No, it went up 12%. The total valuation of the town went up 12%.
Well, wow. That's,
It's a formula that gives us how much we go up.
well, that's the third mill.
Well, but the third mill isn't set, and that third mill is calculated. And so maybe it only came out to 5% for the library, I don't know. I don't know the
The
calculation.
third mill is for the library, and it's on the total amount, true valuation that the Somerset County Board of Taxation publishes. And I thought I saw the numbers as 5.8%, but at any rate,
I think it was on that spreadsheet from the state library.
2025 amount needed to qualify for the 1/3 mill. And, well, let me just look here. For Franklin Township, Franklin Township in 2024 was 15.2 billion. And well, the year prior was 14.3. Let's see.
It's only like 1%.
6.29%, according to these numbers on here. At any rate,
There's a column, I think, that shows the difference between the years.
yeah. At any rate, it's large.
Yeah.
Whether it's 6 or 12, it's large or twice as large. So, with that, January, would you like to make any comments on your on the budget?
Well, we were fortunate again that we did, it's a larger amount, and what I do every year is I go through, I look at what we spent, I look to see if we had enough money to begin with, and the lines that, for example, the alarm system where it was 4,500. I don't expect that to go up, but I put in a 3% inflation on that line, and that's what I did. So each line either has a 3% increase, or it has an increase based on this year's usage, or it just stayed flat, because I know we're not gonna use that much money. And then the last page is the revenue, what I expect to come in. That's state aid, the allocation from the township, interest income, copier income, and fines income.
50 cents.
And then the last page is, I explain each line and why I did what I did.
My experience is that January puts together a budget that holds, and
How much do you have in the?
May I have your attention? In just 5 minutes in the children's room, we will be having our Wizard of Oz book and movie club. This is for students in grades 3 through 6. Wizard of Oz in the children's room in 5 minutes, grades 3 through 6.
What, how much do we have in our fund balance?
The capital fund,
Yeah,
it's about 5 million.
because the township looks at that, and the township has the ability to take a portion of that if they choose to, and I know, well, I'm not necessarily in favor of that. I know that the CFO calculates that every year. So if we're, a saying of mine is the only thing worse than tax and spend is tax and not spend. Because then you have the people's money and you're not doing anything with it.
But we are going to do something.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's coming.
that's where I'm going.
Yeah,
That's coming, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying is if we collected the money from the people, we need to return
Yeah.
it by providing service.
Right.
So, okay, good. Okay.
Is that it?
The only question I had was on the alarm system. I feel like your year-to-date is already at 7,500 and you're only budgeting 4,600.
That's because the first year that we had that down at the branch, it was rolled into the cost of installing it, and now we're on the,
Okay,
now we're on the
okay.
contract, so it'll go back.
All right, so it was just
Yeah.
really high, all right.
just a comment that I'd like to make about the capital funds. We just spent, what, $1.8 million of what we had to put the gallery roof up, and now the rest of the building, the flat roof, is coming due. Now, it won't be nearly that expensive, but still in all, we must keep some money in our reserve for capital improvements and also for maintenance of the existing things, which some people call capital. I don't, but
I looked it up, it does include maintenance.
What's your maintenance CapEx a year? With capital expenditures, I'm sorry, I go jargon. What's your maintenance capital expenditures a year, like on the building and such?
every year?
Yeah, what do you budget for that?
That would be building.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Actually, it's.
Building
it's-
maintenance.
It's more than one line, it's building
Okay,
maintenance.
maintenance supplies.
Yeah,
Okay,
building, yeah.
all right.
And then equipment service is also part of that.
Okay, equipment repair.
But see, it still occurs that some things don't occur every year or even
Yeah.
every
Right.
2 years, but maybe a HVAC system might come every 15 to 20 years, and in the case of the roof, what was it, 20 or?
And the HVAC is about the same age. So
Yeah.
that's another- And don't forget too that I'm working with the architect to get proposals about doing some renovation work on the interior of the building. Make it function better, because I'll say this because Debbie's new, that since this building was renovated the first time, how people use it has changed. There used to be a lot of traffic using our computers. Now people are coming in with their own computers and they want a place to sit and be quiet and use their own laptop. So the building isn't working as efficiently as it used to, so
Yeah.
that's what we
That
want
makes
to
sense.
fix. And I also want to make this room bigger,
Yeah,
and there's some other things that are on the agenda.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the budget as presented?
Yeah, I looked at it at home and I don't see a problem with it, and I will make a motion to accept the budget as presented.
Okay, Kevin has made a motion for
I
20
will second the motion.
Good.
Deborah seconded.
That's a song, so I'll second.
And since we, again, are doing things backward, but is there any other discussion on the budget?
I don't know if this is the place, but we'll also need another motion to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Those in favor of adopting the 2025-2026 library budget signify by raising a hand. I see 4 votes. This is unanimous. And it's also very important that we, as we just discussed, that we put money toward the capital fund for future projects. And is there a motion to restrict $885,002 for this purpose?
Yes, and I just have a question. I guess it's for the mayor. I know when he was talking about money going back to the township, is there like a table for that, or how?
There's a formula.
A formula of this.
I don't know the formula.
Okay. Because I know when I worked for the government, we used to have a mad rush at the end of each fiscal year because since, we were allocated money by Congress.
Use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it. And if you didn't, just like my vacation time. So it was like, but with the vacation time, I usually you could donate it to other people, you know, if somebody had a baby, new on a job, and doesn't have the time, you can donate your time. But that would be, you would get a wish list, you know, and it would be a rush because it kind of seems, some people thought it was wasteful, but it is because you save money this year. You know, if you didn't spend it all next year, you would get less,
Yeah.
and you might need it. So I was just wondering if that's the case. I mean, we shouldn't be, you know.
Well, my understanding from talking to January over the couple of years, we don't have to absolutely spend it, but we have to know what, we have to put it aside for a particular purpose. Even though we're not going to spend it this year, we can put it aside for this purpose because we know the roof is 20 years old, the flat roof is 20 years old.
And it doesn't have to be a specific project, right? You could just say for it, you know, you.
We
should.
I should come up with a list.
You should
for it.
come up
Yeah.
with a list. Okay. Okay, but for right now, just, this is sufficient, I guess, to.
Well, right now, you just need to say that you're gonna, put the surplus towards the capital fund.
Okay.
And then I will give you a list of what
What the
we're gonna
capital-
spend
okay.
the money on.
All right, so.
And the list already exists.
It does
January
exist,
has
yeah.
been working on it
Right,
for some
right.
time now, so it's not just imaginary.
Made up,
It's-
but
no,
it's
not
just
that.
something that you, all right, so I definitely will, what's the word I'm looking for?
Restrict.
Yeah, I mean, I make
For-
a motion to restricting $885,2,000 towards a capital fund for future projects, maintenance, and fixed assets. That's the motion, that we restrict that surplus.
I'll second.
Amy has seconded.
Yeah, it's a harder line. I'm waiting for you to do
Yeah,
that.
see,
because
I went
It
too
was
long.
hard to do the words, yeah.
Well, you know that January is going to put the words
Put the
down.
word down,
Actually,
Make it
He
make
said it,
sense.
he was fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did a good
okay.
job. You did a great job.
but if he
Says you.
weren't, January.
Yeah, yeah.
So the $2 part begs the question, how did you come up with this?
I subtracted, on the revenue page, the $5,162,906. I subtracted from that what our budget is going to be, which is $4,277,904, and that was the difference.
Did make it harder for me with the $2 because it's.
Well, okay.
That's it, right?
Should I round it
$85,000.
There's a difference between engineers and
accurate.
bankers.
Yeah, see, I just would have said not the $2.
Yeah.
I just would have said $885.
An engineer would
and-
have
yeah.
put it down to 3 significant figures,
Yeah.
but a banker has
Is
to
that a
go.
motion to amend them?
Yeah,
Yeah, motion to
well, that's a
amend.
few shekels among friends, right, so, yeah.
Well, okay, so where we are on the agenda is that, let's see, where the heck did the agenda go?
Yeah, we
You
have,
haven't made a motion? You have to vote.
we made a
I'm
motion.
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And Amy seconded.
Okay, is there any further discussion on this motion to restrict $885,000 for capital and future projects? No additional discussion? Those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye. This motion has passed unanimously as well. So, now, is there any other new business?
Yes. So the town is hosting a gay pride event at the gazebo on June 7th, Saturday, June 7th, from, I believe it's 1 to 3. I'm sorry, 12 to 3. I might be getting the time wrong. but it is June 7th in the afternoon. And they are wondering if the library wants to participate in some way. Participating could, if you want a table there, we'd have to decide now, and you could get a table there, or it could also be just somewhere in the lobby, having a small display featuring the books that you have with that theme,
I think we already do.
so that people could walk in. They may be using the bathroom, but they could also be told the library has accommodates this segment of our population, and they have a display, and that
Right.
brings people into the library.
I'm pretty sure that, because I think we do this every year, the book carousel that's out right behind the circulation desk, so we would automatically be doing gay books for that. And we could do a table, and we could have a couple of staff people come and give out our usual stuff that we give out, calendars and bookmarks and things like that.
So the main organizers, Councilman Tasman,
Okay.
I will give him your contact information.
Yes, and I'll be happy to talk to him about
Great.
it. Yeah,
Good job.
that's an easy thing.
Mr. President.
Okay. That, we'll settle that without any motions, sure. Okay. Is there any other new business?
Okay.
So full disclosure, we turned off the camera before we seconded and voted to go into executive session. That was done.
Okay.
Is there a motion to come out of executive session?
I will make a motion to come out of executive session.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Those in favor of this motion? 4, yes. Okay. I guess we, would anyone like to make a motion concerning a gift?
See the wording, right?
So the motion would be to provide the contract, or to inform the attorney. Is that the way you're gonna do it, through the attorney?
Yeah. Well, I was
Inform-
gonna fix this and then send it to,
Oh, to approve the contract.
okay.
Motion to approve the contract for the donation.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion to approve the contract for the donation for the gift agreement between the family of Francis and Anna Diamante and the Board of Trustees of the Franklin Township Public Library.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Is there any discussion on that motion? Those in favor signify by raising their hand. We have a very agreeable, it's unanimous again.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there now any member of the public who would like to speak? If none, we should go on to agreement on the next meeting. Now, I have a request that rather than meeting on the 4th, rather than meeting on the 25th of June. I would like that we meet on the 18th of June. This is a personal request by me so I can attend a graduation for my grandsons.
Where they graduating?
Scotch Plains High School.
Wow, wonderful. I don't have a problem with
That's
that.
fine with me.
Okay.
Do you have a problem with that date, Amy? Okay.
I left my phone in the car. So, but that's all right.
Okay.
Um, how do we do that?
I guess by motion.
By
We
motion?
need a motion?
Yeah.
I will make a motion to change the next meeting date from June 25th to June 18th,
Thank you.
Which is the third Wednesday.
which
instead
is the
of
third Wednesday instead of
Yes,
the
I'll
fourth
second.
Wednesday.
Yeah, no, Amy.
I'll second that motion.
80 seconds, okay. Any discussion on that motion?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Grants.
Those in favor of passing this motion signify. Okay.
Okay.
Opposed? Well, it's 4-0, 4-0. Thank you.
You should have made a stipulation that you take some pictures. Show them.
Show us,
That's it.
yeah, we
Show
need
us.
proof.
We need proof. We need proof. You bring the
Okay.
program anyway.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
The house, second.
Okay. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
We are adjourned.
All right.
That was the most eventful.